Minasan, konnichiwa. Hello, hello, hello. Man, has it been a minute? Double owl queen of cherries, thank you. But yes, hello everybody. It's been well over 2 months since we were last live. I see Pally Duck and Double. Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. Oh man, for those of you who missed it on the Discord, um, I ended up having surgery at the start of February, and things did not quite go as planned. I mean, the surgery itself went fine. I just had a lot of like health stuff outside of that. But yeah, we ended up having to stop a few days early because I caught a cold right beforehand, and I'm like, I do not want to be sick going into surgery. So I didn't want to like strain myself. But yes, I'm back. I'm fully recovered. Like 95% recovered from my surgery. So, yay, I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you so much. Let me get some music going for us. I spent 20 minutes before straight trying to get this going. So, yeah, there we go. But yes, I figured we'd start off light and easy with a nice little art stream to get things kicked off. So happy to be back. Thank you guys. But yes, I hope you guys have had a good 2 months. Of mine has been very uneventful considering the fact that I couldn't really go and do much because I was recovering. I hope you all had a good Easter as well. You know, we just had Easter yesterday. So let's get this going. I bow to the queen for her return and bringing joy to me about the dead. Oh, thank you so much. I totally read that right. You already know how my Easter went. Fair. Yeah, I didn't really do a whole lot on Easter. I mean, I visited family. Had my niece and nephew learn what rug burn was. So, poor little kiddos. Had to learn the hard way. Let me make sure I get the right color here before we start going. Yeah, it's just something that cracked me up is the fact that, you know, kids, well, they're really young, to be fair. They're both 6 years old. But, yeah, we were at my brother's house, and he has a carpeted stairwell, and the kids decided it would be very fun to slide belly down on that carpeted stairwell. So, I'm sure y'all can guess how that went. Hey, Sammy! Hello! Executes a 2-month plan to launch fabric scissors into the sun. Oh, well, my fabric scissors enjoyed the peace while it lasted. Oh, Sammy, it's so good to see you again. Hello. Oh, I should mention this too, guys. Y'all are going to be so proud of me. I figured out how to do a dual monitor setup. Oh my gosh, I love that little emote. Oh man, this is so adorable. But yes, I have big brain. I figured out how to do the dual monitor. Oh, so happy. Oh, it's so good to be back, you guys. I missed y'all. Hope y'all have been having a good. I guess it was the end of winter, isn't it? Because we are technically in. Yeah, we are in spring. I had to think there for a second. Oh man. Oh. My brain is struggling for a moment. Hang on. I'm just so out of sorts. I'm like, what do I do? Camera's rolling. I'm so out of practice. Hugs all around. So I need to turn this down in my ears. This volume is very loud. Yes, this is the song from Majora's Mask. I haven't adjusted the sound anything, but please do let me know if it is too loud, too quiet. I haven't adjusted it from the last stream we did. But yes, this is the mayor's house. And they're having that big fight, and then you have to wear the Anju Cafe mask. Which is like, for everything that you have to do to get the couple's mask, it really does not give you that much of a benefit. I just want to throw that out there. Or how tedious the Anju Cafe quest is. I feel like we should have had a little bit more. But, you know, what can we do? And we immediately go into the peaceful Hat in Time music. It's such a mood shift. You ever get that mood whiplash when you're listening to a song on playlist and it's like super high energy and then all of a sudden it's like nothing? I try to do playlists of songs so that they all have the same vibes, otherwise I'm skipping like 20 songs to be like, if it's Hat in Time. It is such a good game. I'm hoping, I'm not making any promises, but I'm just saying that, putting this out there. Now that I've actually figured out how to get a dual monitor set up, as well as the, I figured out how to get games going without it affecting stream. I'm hoping that I could maybe do like mods or something on some of these games, because I know Hat in Time has a lot of mods for it. There's a ton of people in the modding community. And it's just like beyond, it's not just like, oh, I changed Hat Kid to be this other character. It's actually like full on like mini games and stuff. One of which actually got turned into, it was really quiet on my end. I don't know if it's just because I have the volume. Someone say mods. My mods come out of the woodwork, yes. But yes, I know one of the mods that somebody created actually got turned into an official like mini game, but they could only release it on Steam, so you can't find it on any of the console ports, which is why I haven't shown it off at all. I'll have to link the make sure it wasn't removed.
Fraud! Fraud! Hey everyone! We've got a fraudster over here!
I'm actually gonna try and like adjust my sound settings. Hopefully it shouldn't be different on your end. I'm just gonna make iTunes a little quieter because it's very hard to hear iTunes over all these redeems that are being thrown out there. I want to make sure I'm properly responding to your audio stuff. So I don't know if that actually affected it on your guys' end. Music's a little loud. Okay, I can get... I'm turning it down just a wee bit. Did you get a new mic? Yes and no. So I have a different setup as well. So previously I was streaming out in the living room, where it's like very large acoustics and stuff, and the mic was kind of a bit of a ways away from me. Now I've moved into one of the bedrooms and I'm at a desk, so I actually have like a mic stand and stuff proper, and it's actually positioned properly instead of just being a mile away and I'm like having to scream into the mic. I also did adjust some settings as well, so hopefully that's making me sound better. Where was I at? So discombobulated. All right. But yeah, because of the... Remember how I said I got the dual monitor thing going on? I had to rearrange stuff at my desk in order to fit the second monitor in here. So... You can actually hear me now? Okay. Mystery was using a voice filter. Oh shoot, I forgot to update Throne. Yeah. I think Pikmin 3 is in there. Don't buy that, anyone, because Valley ended up getting that for my birthday, so I just forgot to take it off of there. But I completely forgot about Throne. Man, I'm gonna have to remember to go. I'm much louder and it's nice, thanks. Okay. It's so hard for me to tell. Yeah, me too. I forgot Throne was a thing. It's so hard for me to tell how loud things are on your guys' end because it's literally just numbers, and I'm like, numbers don't translate on my brain, okay? Like, You gotta give me more than numbers. So that's why I'm relying on you guys to tell me if something is too loud, too quiet, so that I can adjust accordingly. So I just realized I'm not on the pen that I wanted to be on. Oh well. Not the end of the world. Barely even notice a difference. But yeah. Normally I try not to draw attention to Throne just because I don't want to make it sound like I'm like, oh, please give me stuff. But I also know, again, my birthday was just a few days ago, and I don't want people like be like, oh, give presents kind of thing, you know? Yes, Zelda's Lullaby. So cute. But yes, if anyone was wondering why I put Pikmin 3 on our list of potential games in the future and not Pikmin 2, that was why. It was because I got it as a gift. And I've mentioned it before, but anytime we get gifted games, I try to play them through to completion as much as possible. Just as a little way of saying thank you. Oh yeah, this pen is much nicer to work with. I keep forgetting. Everyone clear out my throne. Man, I don't even know. I know there's a bunch of Etsy stuff on there, and I don't even know if that stuff is available anymore. You know how sometimes it gets when, like, a creator doesn't make something anymore, or they're out of stock of something. Good old Hollow Knight. I also, again, I'm just throwing this out there more because I know not everybody who watches the streams is in the Discord. I had mentioned there is a possibility of doing Silk Song. The only reason I hesitate is because I know it's gonna be like 15 episodes long. My last save file, granted, I was going in it almost completely blind, but my last save file is over 100 hours. So I'm like, that's a very long. And apparently there's a speed running, there's like a quote unquote speed run achievement that you can do that's like, beat the game with 100% completion in under 30 hours, meaning that must be difficult. So it's at least gonna be, if we're doing 3-hour episodes, it's gonna be at least 10 streams, and I don't know that I want to be doing a series for that long. It's a lot. Yeah, the main thing is just that I'm not the best when it comes to boss fights. It's more so that I'm just stubborn and I refuse to give up until it's over. So I see one shot in the agenda. Yes, yes. That was actually a gift a long while ago, but that was a gift from Weiss. So we're going to be playing that. I know that's going to be a relatively short game. How short? I don't know. But I know it's not nearly as long as a 10-episode game. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. I only put it up for the 1 week because I am going in totally blind. I know it's about a cat person with a light bulb that's supposed to be the sun, and that's the extent of my knowledge. Also, somebody did warn me about something else for those people who do know One Shot. Yes, I am aware of it. So, yeah. Thankfully, somebody warned me about that. But outside of that little detail, I'm completely blind. I know nothing about it. I've been wanting to play it, but I've specifically held off because I'm like, one day I will get this dual monitor setup working. I will get streams where I can actually play PC games. That's why I saved it for now. But yes, this was a gift from like a year ago, I think. It's been a while. Oh, man. I never played One Shot, but I actually did fan art of it years ago for a friend. Nice, nice. Funnily enough, I was actually watching a fan-made show, I guess. It's only 2 episodes, but it had the main character from one shot in it, and that's kind of where I stopped at. Because I'm like, okay, I don't want to get spoiled on anything by potentially like watching this through any further. Because it was basically like a huge indie game crossover, is what it is. And whoa, that was loud. Oh, I saw Pikmin come up. What was that? Why did Throne not alert me either? Throne is supposed to alert me. Hang on, I'm gonna go see what somebody got me. Oh, shush. Everything's... Everything's going wrong. Oh, it's Pikmin 4! Oh, from Double! Oh, thank you so much, Double. Thank you. I guess expect both Pikmin 3 and 4 in the future here. And at this rate, I may as well just throw 2 into the mix, because why not? We'll play all the Pikmin games. Thank you so much, Double. Thank you, thank you. Oh. It's gonna be a pick-task. I was trying to make a Pikmin pun, it didn't work. It's gonna be full of Pikmin. And we're all gonna squeal at their adorableness. Pikmin, 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 Pikmin. Yes, Pikmin. Let's go. Oh, very much. I barely know anything about Pikmin 3 and 4. So I guess technically we'll be going into those blind too. I know that 4 has character customization, but that's really the extent of my knowledge of 4. Oh, Widow! Such a good song. But yeah, that was kind of backtracking a little bit. Yeah, I would love to do Silk Song. I just don't know if my sanity can handle it. I barely withstood it when I was playing by myself. Yeah. Because y'all saw how difficult Hollow Knight was. Gosh, I should put Leaf on a... I should put a Leaf on a different layer. Hang on. But yeah, Silk Song definitely ups the ante as far as difficulty is concerned. There we go, now Leaf's on a different layer. Did I see the new Mario movie? I almost did. I got invited to it on Saturday, but unfortunately, there was a lot of stuff that ended up happening. I was very burnt out because I had been doing a lot of stuff the last couple days. But on top of that, my incisions started hurting really bad. And then a tornado warning when the tornado watch came out. So it's like, I'm just gonna stay home. And we'll just, yeah. Pikmin 4 has the goodest voice. I saw the dog little thing. I assume that's what you're talking about. Doggo. Brand. Pikmin are indeed very cute. Yes. There was a lot that happened on Friday. So, yeah. I didn't end up seeing it because of that. I plan to, but I have not yet. So. But yeah, my siblings and their kids all went to see it, and they invited me, and I just had too much that happened all at once that it's like, yo, no. Sounds like a whirlwind of emotions. Yes, indeed. It was a lot. I'm just like, I'd rather not crash out right before the holiday. Let's just, you know. Oh, sorry, I just threw the Metaton theme. But yes, it was both a figurative and literal whirlwind. Thankfully, nothing happened with the storm. It ended up, well, I don't think anything touched down, but the warning was more for like north of where I live. So anybody who doesn't live in the United States, I don't know if this is a thing over in Australia or the New Zealand. I almost said the UK, but I don't think we have anybody here from the UK. Each state has counties, and it was like north of the county and I was down south of the county. So, but the sirens were still going off, and there were tons of storms everywhere, and I was still very much panicking, like, what's happening? So, yeah, that was my Saturday. I just spent it at home crafting. Seeing some other characters appear in Mario Galaxy movie. Okay, this is the only time I will allow spoilers. But y'all need to tell me if any Paper Mario characters show up, because I need that. I will be in there, like, in 3.5 seconds, I will be in the theater if I find out there's anything Paper Mario related. Y'all know me, we stan Paper Mario in this. If you couldn't tell by the fact that we're literally drawing a Bug Fables comic, which is inspired by Paper Mario. But I did know that Koopa Kid and Yoshi show up. I have a feeling that Professor Egad is going to show up just because they have the paintbrush. Well, I guess I should say I also know Rosalina's in there, but again, these are all characters that were featured in the trailer, so that's all I really know. So I just realized I'm missing like half of Kabu's body. Sorry, Leaf, you gotta disappear for a second because I forgot to add the other end of Kabu's body. Kidding, so I'm trying to catch up with everybody and I'm just forgetting things. Actually, let's... A different version of Mario? Is it Wario? I really want Wario, and I don't know what Paper Mario characters, but Birdo is in it, and it's great. Aw, nice. Like I said, those are the only characters I knew for sure were the characters featured in the trailer. So Yoshi, Koopa Kid, and Rosalina. And again, I'm just assuming that Professor Egad comes in there because the paintbrush is literally an Egad gadget. So, but Wario is technically a different version of Mario. Oh, come on. But he's got a Happy Meal the other day and gave a toy, and it was Bowser Jr. Oh, that's so awesome. I was actually talking about that with some coworkers. I didn't even know if they still did Happy Meal toys. I don't eat I don't eat at fast food a whole lot, so, but even when I do, I'm not getting the kids' meals, so. Because we were me and another friend of mine, we were kind of doing some thrifting, and we had seen some of the really old Mario with red hat. But like I said, Mario technically is a version of Mario. I will stand by this argument. I will die on this hill. The box of Happy Meal had Peach on it, which he was excited about. Oh, that's so cute. I've seen cereal boxes that have some of the Galaxy characters on it. But anyway, I got a little sidetracked. But yeah, we were thrifting and we saw the like really old Sailor Moon toys that they used to sell at McDonald's that were on sale. It's like an auctioning thing. We were doing it online, but we were kind of browsing, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember when I had these Sailor Moon dolls. They were so cute. It was the cutest thing ever. I always have fond memories. It's like, you know when you're a kid and you don't really process, like, how much your family members do for you until it's like, you're much older, and then you're like, oh, that was so nice of them to do that for me. Because I very distinctly remember when I was a little kid and I was trying to collect all of those Sailor Moon dolls. And I remember my grandma calling around to see if she could find a McDonald's that had Sailor Jupiter because she was the only one I was missing. And again, it's just like, at the time when you're a little kid, you didn't really understand like how much she did that. And now I'm like old enough to be like, oh, that was so sweet of my grandma to do that for me when I was a little kid. Don't make me smile. Next year for my 31st, I'll be going back to home, so New Zealand for March. I'm so happy. A gift from Aiden's mom. Aw, that's so cute. Did you move to like Australia or something? I thought you were already in New Zealand. But yes, I just hit 32. So we all oldies in here. So everybody come board the nostalgia train and talk about things that'll be like, oh, you filthy millennial. Let me get the rest of the details on Kabu before I forget those as well. He looks a little janky, but you know what? He's just gonna have to deal with it. I'm sorry, Kabu. You're just gonna have to cope. A couple months from being 26. Oh, Babu. I'm just teasing. But yes, happy early birthday. I know it's a couple months away, but happy birthday. Alrighty. Let's get it here. Oh, I know. Oh, I know what he's saying. Sam, you're saying Waluigi's in here, right? Oh, okay, you're on Australia. Okay. For some reason, I thought you still lived in New Zealand, so that's why I was confused. Ah, born in 2000. Nice. Yeah, I'm a 90s baby. So, I grew up in that time era. Like I said, I'm a millennial. You always can tell when I'm talking about video games, and I'm like, yeah, I grew up with the N64 and the Game Boy Color. That's how old I am. Hello, welcome to the stream. Hello. It's so good to see everybody. We're talking about how old. I finally do it again. Yes. Funny story, we were actually just talking about the new Mario movie. I haven't seen it yet, but Sammy's been telling Waluigi will never get representation, you know better. Sammy's trying to tell me that Wario's in the movie. That's a joke. Where's my Wario stands? Yeah, I'm hoping that probably not, but I remember that was a big thing when the first Mario movie came out, that a lot of critics were like, ew, it's not that good. Mustache twirling. A group of consoles that most people haven't heard of. Ah, yes. You got that Commodore 64? Is that you gonna start telling me about that? But, yeah, because it's like one of those things where it's like, no, it's not supposed to be like some groundbreaking, like mind-blowing movie. It's literally just for fun. Like, I wish, but also because $20 for frozen chicken, no thank you, and also $3.20 for bread. Ooh, geez. Redacted appears in the movie. NES, SNES, N64, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, DS, 3DS, GameCube, Wii U. Ah, yes. We didn't have an NES, but we had an SNES. I was very baby when we had it, but I do remember playing the original Mario All-Stars on that. Anybody remember the original Mario All-Stars that had Mario's 1, 2, and 3? I think it also had the Lost levels. Somebody correct me on that. I mostly played Mario 2. PS2, 3, 4, and 5. Nice. See, we were a Nintendo household. We mostly had Nintendo consoles. Sega Master System and NES. Nice. I do kind of wish you'd been like, I had a Commodore 64. Let's get really old school in there. But, what was I saying? Oh yeah, we had the PS1, but it was technically my brother's. We just kind of played it every once in a while. We were like, ah, cool games. So I know a little bit of Spyro and Crash Bandicoot because of that. But those are really the only Sega games, I guess, that I played. Are they Sega? I'm pretty sure Crash Bandicoot is Sega. Mario All-Stars is fun. Yes, it's awesome. Family had PS2 and Kingdom Hearts. Nice. See, I knew of Kingdom Hearts for the longest time, but again, we didn't have any of the PlayStations. My first PlayStation console was the PlayStation 4. If that gives you any context for how long it was before I ever got a PlayStation. I'm not that old. Oh, it was worth a try. I had a PS1 and that's where I played my first game. Ooh, that is actually a good question. What was your first game? I don't know if I can say what my first game was because it's just there was a lot of games. If I had to guess, it was probably, again, Mario All-Stars and specifically Mario 2. I was a literal baby when it came out. My older sister was about 6. Nice. Zelda NES, yes. Fun fact. Y'all know me and my wanderlust at this point. Yeah, I tried to play the original Zelda, did not realize I was supposed to go in the cave and get the sword. I just kind of wandered about and I got lost very quickly. Y'all know me, I don't go on the intended. Crash Bandicoot, nice. I think we specifically had the racing one, Crash Bandicoot Racing. I don't think we had the like actual game. It was part of a bet to get the N64. Oh, interesting. I would say play simple and clean, but she does copyright a lot of people. Yeah, unfortunately, I figured that out with some of the songs. So usually songs with lyrics are what ends up getting all of those copyright flags. So I try to omit them as much as possible. One day I want to figure out, I've seen tutorials online of how to like do streams to where you can have songs playing during the stream, but not actually have them play when you sorry, I'm like I heard my boy's theme. I just got distracted. My boy Rivali. But yes, one where I can re-upload it without the copyrighted music. But it was very confusing, and y'all know me, I ain't tech savvy, so it was very stressful trying to figure it out. I could sing it for y'all. When you walk away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby. Simple and clean is the way that you're making me feel tonight. It's hard to let go. I'm very rusty. I didn't warm up. No, we're not bringing that back. No. I always keep hitting the wrong button when I try to hit my sing emote. I moved. I don't remember my sing emotes. Does Utada Hikaru copyright claim people who cover it too? I'm just curious. I haven't heard you sing in ages. Oh, thanks. It's been at least 2 months since you've heard me sing. Oh yeah, there you go. There's your simple and clean. It is such a good song. Which I should also ask, for those of you who have heard Simple and Clean, do you prefer the fast version or the slow version? I prefer the slow version, but I know one of my besties prefers the sped up version of it. Do, 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 do. Sorry, I was gonna draw her with the beamerang in her hands, but she doesn't have the beamerang. Oh no, wait, did she? Ah, I gotta pull up the last page. Where? Can y'all tell I haven't looked at this in a while? Okay, she does have the beamerang in her hand. Consistency. I want to make sure that I'm doing things consistently. No, not Teba. It's Teba. I like the slow version. Yay! I like both. I also like the rock cover by Gates of Ivory. Oh, I don't know that I've heard that. One video I watched talked about how the English lyrics were simple, clean, and how they don't really correlate to the story of the game at all. Yeah, I kind of noticed that, especially with that, like, does that mean I have to meet your father? Like, that has nothing to do with Kingdom Hearts, but okay. But I couldn't tell you what the... I know the actual song Simple and Clean in Japanese is called Hikari, which just means light. So... But I don't know if this is back in the era where they were like, we don't need to translate one-to-one. Slow, simple, and clean. Yeah! All my peeps coming out with the slow one. I like the slow one. It's actually funny that we're talking about this too, because I also watched a lot of, or not a lot, but I watched it on repeat a lot. Somebody who was playing Kingdom Hearts 1 playthrough. So it is fresh on the brain. Perspective. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I needed. People have been saying that the second game for Kingdom Hearts is better. I still haven't played it. I played most of 1 and about half of 3. And I kind of gave up. Let's get the sketch layer out here. I think I've got everything for these guys. I should also rename the layers. Oh man, this is welcome back to this chaos. That's why I gotta change the layers before I forget who's on what layer. The lines. Leaf lines. Oops. Kabu lines. Speaking of, guess who got their Bug Fables plushies finally? I'm so happy. I ordered the makeshift thing when they were like, oh yeah, we're bringing them back. If long enough people order them, we will make them. And of course I had to get all 3 of them. Dog immediately tried to get into the plushies as soon as they arrived. And I'm like, dog, those are mine. No touchy. Don't touch my bug babies. Right. Let's get... here we go, Kabu. Let's start with here. We want... Where is it? Here we go. Got all my fancy tools out here. So I can knit now, and I don't know what I started to... Oh, that's awesome! It's actually really funny you say that, because I actually just recently learned... What? Hang on. I forgot! I won't go into detail. I'm sure y'all can figure it out. But, I have not blacklisted, but basically blacklisted the word Donald. So I flagged that comment as a blacklist. Oh, let's not go into detail about that. But yes, I did learn how to knit because I was also, as I said, I was getting kind of sick, and my ADHD brain is just like, I need something to do with my hands. So I ended up picking up knitting. I tried to do crocheting first, and I could not figure it out, man. I was just getting frustrated, getting all tangled up in it, and I'm like, what am I doing? But yes, I commend anyone who can do crocheting. Deshudo, hello. I was thinking about you recently. That I hadn't seen it. Glad to be back. Thank you. I had mentioned it at the top of the stream. I had surgery 2 months ago, so that's mostly the reason why I've been gone. Just health complications following that. Should we just refer to him as Ducknold? Yes. What was it? Oh man. Weiss had named him something very clever, and like Denold Donald Duck. That's what we can call Donald. But yes, I'm so happy to see you, Tashudo. Dolan, yeah. Dolan. Hope recovery's gone well in the end. It has. Thank you, thank you. I'm like mostly recovered, like say like 95%. Every once in a while I kind of have flare-ups of the incisions, but for the most part they're all healed. It's just, you know, some muscle pain if I do a little more lifting than I should be. But otherwise, doing good. Okay, where are you? Oopsie. Yeah, this is a different tool than what I'm used to using, so I'm like trying to. I'm rusty, okay? I heard the name for a mod for the Kingdom 2 randomizers that is goofy focused. It's like, you can focus a mod to one of your partners? I wish I could show you how to crochet. It's a lot easier than knitting. Actually, again, I found knitting to be a lot easier, but it could also just be the way I was gripping things. I could not figure it out for the life of me. My mom does a lot of crocheting, so when she was helping me recover, we were just kind of sitting there knitting and crocheting. This is very nice. Had a minor surgery recently, but thankfully mine was quick recovery one. 2 weeks is just about being cautious with movements in the lower area. Yeah, that's good to hear that it was quick recovery. Yeah, mine was a little more intensive. I needed 6 weeks. I had 6 weeks off of work, but it was like 6 to 8 week recovery for it. So it was a pretty big surgery, so to speak. I mean, it's one that's done commonly. I don't really want to go into details, but let's just say it's done commonly, but it is also like an intensive surgery, so to speak. Glad to hear it went well in the end. Yes. It was mostly just like breathing issues that I had a lot of, as well as, again, just general pain from the recovery. But it's all good now. And I think, you know what's actually really funny? I actually did not watch a whole lot of stuff while I was sick, or at least a lot of new stuff. I mentioned it in the Discord chat. I did watch Pokemon Concierge. It was so cute. If any of you get the chance to watch it, please do. It is so adorable. Let's skip this. I keep forgetting that I have this. Yeah, here. Skipping the songs. Alrighty. Back here. What was I doing? Oh yeah, like silver stuff. Those look so weird when I have like parts of them colored and not other parts. Actually, let me group these all. I've seen Concierge was fun. I know, it's so cute. You know, one thing that I randomly noticed? There is surprising lack of bug type Pokemon in that. I think bug and psychic were the types that I didn't, at least as far as I could tell, I didn't see any Pokemon there for those types. But there was at least one of every other type. Say technically there was a like blanket that had Natu on it, but outside of that I don't think, unless Lampent is psychic, but I thought Lampent was ghost fire. I'm a little weaker on some of the newer gen Pokemon. Yeah, there was like 3 Pokemon on that one that I did not recognize, or at least didn't know the name of. Not much Pokemon Concierge, but what I've seen includes the Pokemon looking great and the humans looking weird. Lampent is Ghostfire. That's what I figured. It's like, you know, it's a lamp. It's a candle lamp. But yes, it's more like cartoony art style, typical claymation stuff because it is stop motion. I don't know if it's technically claymation, but it is stop motion. Very cute. And you also kind of have to forgive some of the animation too because it did have a low budget, which is really weird to say because it's Pokemon, but Say there was some mushroom looking thing. I don't know what type of Pokemon that was. Um what else was there? There was something that looked like a mouse, tiny mouse version of Raichu. Like it had the same color scheme, but it was more like mousy. Some of the Pokemon types don't make sense. However, they at least mostly made sense. Yeah. Still won't get over the fact that Psyduck and Golduck are not psychic types. I just think about that a lot more than I probably should. You know how it be. It's that one detail that just drives you up the wall. Why are you colored in? There we go. Remember we were actually talking at work, it's probably like a day or two ago, about what our favorite and least favorite Pokemon are, like design-wise. Lamphid's light are dark in what they use to fuel their fire. Isn't it like Soul or something? All the ghost types have very dark. I love Lampit, but they are cute. Yes, it was very cute. Psyduck I jokingly explain away as their headaches as two intensities their psychic abilities enough to be classified psychic. No excuse for Golduck. I know that's like a big thing that like anybody who knows Psyduck knows that it's got the headache thing. This is why I don't like using this tool. You know what? I'm going back to the paint bucket tool. I'm tired of trying to do it this way. For other layers. Joint. That didn't work. These are so tiny. Oh, chill. Nope. I do have to say, I do have to give the show credit where credit is due. They made Trubbish very cute. It's not a Pokemon that you would ever think you'd be calling cute, but it was very cute. I just love some of the little details, like the fact that they had there's a scene where the concierge is like, I don't remember if she's making food or a smoothie, but she's making some kind of food. And then you see Trubbish come up, and Trubbish is only eating the garbage parts of the fruit. It's so great. Like the orange peels and rind and stuff, but not actually the orange slices themselves. It was super adorable. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. Way to keep the character. It's those little details that always tickle me. Alrighty. Rest I got in there. I think that's all Kabu's colors. Lampent line burns the souls of others to fuel their flames with Lampent, specifically waiting around hospitals for people to kick the bucket. Aww. Well, I can't say I didn't expect something dark like that. I'm kind of curious. No, I'm not. And never mind. I don't want to know. I was saying, does ZA have hospitals and are the Lampets hanging around there? But let's not have answers to that. Alright. Now let's do a little. Make sure that we go through. My boy. L. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Actually, no, I'm not on the wrong layer. I just need to put him behind here. There we go. There we go. Layer order is very important. Oh, I forgot his leg. Joints. And things. And I want eyes. Antenna. Boom, he's done. Oh no, I lied. Now he's done. Yay. The base form Litwick, I recall favoring the souls of the young, or at least young souls, because Litwick flames to burn bright. Oh, young souls cause Litwick's flames to burn the brightest. Oh. Also, I definitely kept calling Lampit Chandelure, but I'm like, oh yeah, that's like the triple evolved form, not the one that's in the show. Nope. I gotta get her. Hang on, we're gonna. Gotta get all my layers arranged. Hang on. One. Okay, get some Undertale. Boop, 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 boop. What was I doing? Yeah, here we go. It's getting V in here. Get our gremlin child girl. I love my gremlin baby. Oh, I didn't mention this. V has a little beamerang on her plushie form, but there's actually a little piece of Velcro so you can actually remove the beamerang anytime you want. It's so freaking cute. Oh, my baby! I love V. She's my baby. Also, I did not put her wings in here. I'm gonna have to fix that. Alrighty, let's go back to the lines. Shush, phone. Phone's yelling at me. Wings just slightly depressed. Wait, Mr. You really should play Happy. Oh. If you'll enjoy a character. Oh, yeah, Happy Ever After Inc. Or what was it? I do know, I think it's on my wish list, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I have RuneScape brain rot right now. That's like all I've been playing the last, I don't even know, multiple months. Keep the Pokemon topic going, but to make it more cute, when seen in the natural habitat, Sphew can be found riding ice caps because they aren't good at moving very fast. Aww. Also, Double, you will definitely like this. There is a Spiel slash, I was gonna say Whalerin, but that's not. What's the evolved form of I'm blanking so hard? Celio. Yeah, there's a whole episode around a Spiel that evolved into a Celio. You will love it. which is actually a funny story I have to tell you guys about. So I ended up staying at my parents' house after surgery, but it was like a day after the surgery. My parents had something that they had to do, and they were like, "Oh, if you have any problems, just contact your Uncle Dan." And I was like, "Oh, I'm okay." And then I put on Pokemon Concierge, and the next episode had a character named Uncle Dan. It's like, hey, Uncle Dan came. It made me laugh very hard. All right. Me is in there. Everybody's at least got base colors. Make sure everything is on through. Also, let me get some water to hydrate. My Uncle Dan was watching me through the show. Exactly. Was there in the spirit in the form of Pokemon. All right, I think I'm gonna bounce down here and work on Shell for a little bit. My baby girl, I haven't been able to show her off very much in this. Fine shading. There we go. Shell finally debuting in Mechanic. Alrighty. I forgot where the light source is. Aw. He knows all. Yes. Let's see. I think it's like a. Whoa. I gotta pull that picture up again. It's been too long since I've worked on this comic. Where was the light coming from? It's coming from above them. Okay, got it. Will this comic technically be a fanfic? I guess technically, but usually fanfics refer to, like writing. But I guess in the most literal definition, yes, it is fan fiction. Again, just depends on how particular you are about your terminology. I've actually seen people upload comics to AO3, which I did not know you could do, but apparently that's a thing you can do. Probably won't be uploading this though, because I feel like I do these uploads in like 5-page chunks, but I feel like those 5 pages aren't enough to justify a full chapter, you know? Because that's usually what I see when I do see people uploading the AO3. They have like 3 or 4 pages, which is fine. It's just for my comic specifically, it's like, I don't want to do that. I do have this storyboarded out for multiple chapters. When I say storyboard, like, I guess it is storyboarding. Well, let me tell you guys, I've re-choreographed this next upcoming fight scene 3 different times, and I'm like, please make it stop. Oh, yes, I did hear about the Ocarina of Time remake, which I think is very peculiar, to be perfectly honest, but I ain't gonna knock it. I really hope they add in an actual, like, randomizer mode. Nintendo, I would love you forever if you would just add in an in-game randomizer. Please. Zelda randomizers are so fun. I want one. Trust me, I've thought multiple times about, like, I should do another Zelda randomizer. But we already have 2 Zelda games on the roster. So, yeah. I'd love to do Majora's Mask, but I'm also scared because I don't know Majora's Mask as well as I know Ocarina of Time. And I'd worry that I'd be like, I don't know. Before after I soft lock myself. Listen. I didn't know I wasn't going to be able to reset the levels in the water temple. I didn't know that was a thing that was going to happen. I tried to glitch my way through, but that didn't end up working. I couldn't get the glitchiness to figure work out. I've only done very basic glitches in Ocarina of Time. There's supposed to be a way that you can, like, glitch yourself into, or I guess out of bounds in the water temple, and most of the out of bounds areas are filled with water. So I was trying to do that to, like, float myself upwards so that I could get to the water adjusting thing and just go from there. But alas, it did not work. Hey, more hand time. I love this song. There's so many good songs in Hat Time. And if anyone's wondering, this is from the DLC in Hat Time. So if you're not super familiar with that, that is why. Seal the Deal DLC. Oh, excuse me. Hiccup. Ah! Hiccups! Okay, I think that's it. There's a creature collector game called Monster Sanctuary that's built in randomizer mode that unlocks upon beating the game at least once, but the game also has New Game Plus, which has limitations when combined with the randomizer. Oh, you can combine both of those. That's actually really cool. I will say I also do have the... Why am I blanking so hard on it? What's the, like, official hard mode Zelda Ocarina of Time? Master Quest. I do have Master Quest for the GameCube, so that's also another option if we ever want to do a Master Quest mode. Most indie games do that. Okay. I knew indie games did a lot of, like, New Game Plus or randomizers, but I didn't know most indie games did the combined of that. Interesting. But yeah, I do have Master Quest, if that's ever a thing you guys want to see too. I remember trying it out just to see how different it was, and I think I died in the Great Deku Tree like 4 times. It's like, you're not supposed to die in the Great Deku Tree all that much, if at all. I keep dying to everything. Because I just remember it being like, oh, the dungeons layouts are different too, aside from just enemies dealing more damage. That was supposedly the other difference with Legends, Quest, words. Mystery like Fatal Frame 1. Never, we're not doing that, no. Oh. Boo 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 doo boo. Oh yeah, I never ended up actually... Oh, and by limitations I mean that some things carry over are locked until you meet certain requirements, one of which being the use of creature field skills that are locked until you find said creature in the wild. Oh, interesting, interesting. I was kind of backpedaling a little bit on the conversation because I had mentioned before co-workers and I were discussing least favorite Pokemon designs, and I'm curious what your guys' is, and I never got a chance to actually ask you guys. I feel like I know most of your guys' favorite Pokemons, but I don't think I know your least favorite Pokemon. I'm just gonna go right out there and say it. I hate Buzzswole. It looks so gross. Like weird muscular bug thing. Ew, no. Ew. Actually, I don't know if I know your favorite Pokemon. I know some other people's. I know Doubles is Spiel. I know Sky, don't judge me. I know Fally likes Sharpedo and Flygon. Jam, hello, welcome to stream. We're discussing favorite and least favorite Pokemon. But yes, I cannot stand Buzzswole. It looks so gross and muscular, and I do not like it. I was like, why does this thing exist? Who is this for? It's so good to see you, Jab. It's been way too long. I mean, I guess not really. We just talked the other night in Discord, but you know what I mean. My spew love on my sleeves. You have to not be paying me any attention to know I love my precious Spiel. Yes, hate to be that guy, but I don't have one. Never gotten to Pokemon Mania yet. That's totally fair. I totally get that. My phone, leave me alone. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of messages. I have a lot of stuff going on. But I was recently picking up Pokemon again. I still don't really know much outside of Gen 4, but you know. Baby steps. I just remember coming across Buzzswole because I was Buzzswole because of our Pokemon stream that we had, and I was trying to figure out what bug-type Pokemon I could have on my team that would be most beneficial. Because for those of you who didn't see it, we were doing a restricted type run. And that's where I came across Buzzswole, and I'm like, what is this? Why does this exist? Favorite design, Altaria. Favorite in a party was Tinkaton. Was weirded out by Wiglet. Least favorite is Ruff, maybe really tall form of Executor. Yeah, it's totally fair. Pokemon ain't for everyone. That's 1,000,000% valid. Yes. Least favorite, Trubbish. Yeah. Again, Pokemon Concierge made Trubbish very cute, and now I'm like, I never thought I'd like Trubbish, but now, like, look at this. This thing is so cute. Oh, yay. I like the song. I'm sorry. Hit the Silk song. I think if I was asked to pick one, I'd probably pick like a friend's favorite Pokemon or something. That's totally fair. I'd probably end up choosing one of the Zigzagoon variants. Nice. I'm very fortunate that this song has not traumatized me. This is the song that plays when you're fighting the Morwing, along with a couple other enemies. And I fought this thing before the game was patched, and it was absurdly difficult, let me tell you. But I now have bragging rights. Because this boss used to do double damage to you, and when you only had 5 masks of health, you can only get it 3 times. You're like, this is such BS. Why would they put this thing so early on in the game? But yeah, they eventually patched it, so now it only does 1 damage. 1 mask of damage, so you don't die nearly as quickly. You still die quickly if you're not paying attention, but it was just one of those, like, losing my sanity moments. Plague Silk song. Got an adult. Totally fair. I totally get that. I was actually talking about people I mentioned earlier. I had RuneScape brain rot going on. I tell people, I'm like, if you just need to skill, just AFK it while you're doing adult things. Just do your laundry and just AFK skills. That's what I do a lot of the time. Animal Crossing! It's another game that I played quite a bit. At least the first couple weeks I was recovering from surgery. This is a nice little game to pop on for a couple hours, play it. I was having fun with the hotel DLC. And I also got Tulin and Minoru moved onto my island, so yeah. Took a lot of convincing from them, but we eventually got them moved in. I think that should... Actually, I did not shade any of this up here. Right. Told people this before, but if I ever get a dog, I'm definitely naming it. Well, if it's a female dog, we're gonna name it Isabel. Because yes, all the names must be references. All right, I think that should do it for the hard shading. I'm gonna do a gradient shading now in a color burn. I'm feeling a belch coming on. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry if that came through on the mic. Polar says New Horizons is linked with the pandemic because she played it a lot during the early days of it. Oh yeah, because that came out like right at the start of the pandemic. Family has the rule of our dog names must start with an S. Very specific. Is it just kind of a trend that ran? Or is there an actual reasoning behind it other than just, I don't know, I want them all to start with S. Which is totally fair. Ah! I didn't realize there was a coaster underneath my mat. All right. Hydration. Remember to stay hydrated, folks. Let's get this a little larger. Gotta keep the shading a little more intense. I also realized Shell does not have the stripe on her wings. I should fix that. You can tell it's been a hot minute since we've done anything with this comic. Yes, Hardy. Just a trend that had outliers a couple of times, but for the most part, all our dogs have had S names. Oh, that's adorable. Hey, I don't think we've had any of that for our dogs, but most of our dogs were rescues and already have names, so... Oh, yes! Phantom of the Organ. On. Yes, this is another Silk song. Where is Chell? Wing accents, there we go. Because I forgot them. And if anyone was curious, Chell is actually based off of a large maple spanware moth. Main reason I chose that was just because I found a large maple spanware moth one day and I was like, is that a leaf? And I was like, oh no, that's actually a moth. do, do, do. I think I've mentioned it multiple times before. So she is based off of that large maple Spain Marmot, and the antagonist named Monarch is actually based off of a summer azure butterfly. Dogs we have now, we were called other things before we got them, but those names didn't start with S, so they went straight out the window. Fair, fair. Poteno. There we go. Okay. Shell stripes in there now. I'll just merge that down. Other colors. I even wrote down here it was missing stripe. I read very well, guys. It's fine. This was easier to sketch some of these effects I had in my brain than it will be to actually put them in there. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. Whoop. Here's... I think it's just cut off here, but it's like way down in the corner here that I have a list of like all the colors I've been using just to make sure things stay consistent when I'm working on this. Screen, where's screen? There's screen. Just want to make sure that I'm doing things and not like making them one color one instance and a totally different color the next. Are Sophie and Stanley, and I love them dearly. They are so adorable. I always love seeing the pictures you throw in the chat. In the Discord. Babies!
He's so cute.
There's colors. Alright. Belches are coming again, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry if that catches on the mic. I hope it's not catching on the mic. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, I want to see your cats. Please, please do. Please do. Show me all of the pets. I want to live vicariously through you guys. I'm not allowed to have pets in my apartment. So, I want to know. Can you show me? I want to know, because the strangest... Sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know where my head is at today, guys. I'm just happy to be here. So happy to be back. Dude, show highlights. We're gonna bump back panel. Okay, we're gonna do some shading. She's no longer living with me. She's away with my parents now since my place was too small. Aww. Well, hopefully you'll be able to get her back at some point. Or at least go and visit her if that's not the case. So yeah, my parents... Well, I guess it's not my dog, but it's our dog. I get to visit her. I know I shared a picture or two in the Discord chat when I was recovering of her trying to mooch off of my slice of cheese. I had like applesauce, a slice of cheese, and some tomato soup, and she was mooching for it. It's like, dog, you don't want this. My only recollection of their old names is that they were references to TV shows, and the names they have now do fit. Just completely different shows. One of references technically Corey, the house, just not one of the main characters. I don't know that I know that. I'm not super familiar with a lot of shows that weren't cartoons, so I wholesomely apologize. I was a 90s kid. I grew up with cartoons. So worried I'm gonna accidentally rip out my headphones while trying to get to my keyboard. There we go. Oop. Shadows. And gradient shadow. We're gonna do. Where is it? Color burn. In there. President's daughter and Corey in the house was named Sophie, while Stanley's reference was from Gravity Falls to Stanley Pines. Nice! I do know that one. Gravity Falls is a good show. Alright. Gradient. Ooh. Shading. And we're going to do light. Oh, this song's gonna make me fall asleep. You want where is it? Screen. I actually think this is like the 3 a.m. song. What song is this? I gotta find it. Oh, it's 2 a.m. That's what I was saying. I'm like, this song's gonna make me fall asleep. I need to get my caffeine. Actually have my cup of caffeine here. It's just some pop. I think I've asked this before, but do you call it pop or soda? Or cola? Sugary carbonated beverages, what do you call them? You should be asleep, it's 2 a.m. That is very fair. Also, ew, I just spit all over my tablet. Gross. Alright. Let's see if I can get this to work the way I want it. Oh. Want connected pixels only so that we can put a background here. We want to refer only editing layer. Oh, that's ugly. Let's not do that. Okay, and my reference material. I don't know why the poses are there with 3D material because I don't use any of them. All right, I'm looking for manga material, effect lines. I think it's still, yeah, you guys can see it. Soda is what we call it in my neck of the woods. See, I'm always curious about that because I know calling it pop is more of a northern thing, like northern US thing, while it's soda more down south. So I'm always curious. I also don't really know what they refer to it overseas as. I think, yeah, I'm having deja vu because I'm pretty sure we've had this conversation before. Dogs are a mix of Chihuahua, Pomeranian, Poodle, and I think Maltese. Oh, I love Chihuahuas. I always tell people I'm gonna be that. When I'm like in my 70s and 80s, I'm gonna be that old lady with the really angry Chihuahua that like growls at everybody. That's gonna be me. I'm gonna be that stereotypical grandma. Like, oh, my little baby is so precious. You'll be like, "Meow, meow, 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 meow." Cola is a flavor of soda. I've never heard someone use cola as an overarching term. Yeah, it's like a very niche people. I remember saying before, I like heard of some people in Texas doing that. Not everybody in Texas. I've just heard that some people call it just cola. like all pop is just cola. It's like that. Feel like that would be very confusing. Be like, I want a Sprite cola. What's my family song? Has been at least part Chihuahua. Yes, I love Chihuahuas. They're my favorite. They're so teeny and weeny and cute. I love Chihuahuas. So precious. Made me so happy when we were over at my brother's house because he's got a little Chihuahua, and it's the cutest thing ever. He's a little skittish though, so he doesn't let us hold him very well. Do I have a good like zinger effect? Not really. I do have a pen that I could use in place of this though. So we're going to do a new layer. Have it be more of like a almost white. I should have too many. Way too many things. Where are my lines? Fancy line tools. Those are decorations. There we go. I want a burst. Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. I have to go diagonally. There we go. Let me see if I can manipulate this at all. No. Objects, I'm hoping it will let me. Yeah. Well, that's quite what I wanted, but I could probably just fill in the middle of that. Botaki and Kohupe. And Sarah, hello, welcome to stream. Hello, hello. Long time no see. Hope you've been doing well. We're just doing some comic doodling right now. I'm gonna leave that as an object for now. I will rasterize it later. Fill in. Because I want it to look like it's a little like shock bubble. Doesn't quite look how I want it to look. We're gonna get rid of that. No, I have some urchin lines in here. Where are they? Here they are, but those aren't the ones. Let's put. Oh yeah, scooting around clock towers beneath the sea. Okay, we gotta fix this. Okay, you're supposed to be able to use this as a masking layer, but I never quite figured out how to do that. Okay. There's some parts of... Can I gotta remember how to do this, hang on. Hello, Beverage Jack, hello, hello. Breaking news, water fountain and lake scientists and shot. Yeah, yes indeed. Get a Chihuahua for when I was 8 until he passed in my mother's arms 11 years later, and I miss him every day and I wish to continue. Aw, I'm so sorry for your loss. Get back to this, hang on. There we go, free transform. Technically speaking, I should be able to mask this, but I just never figured out how masking works. Layer mask. That didn't work. Now you guys can't really see the menus popping up. mask outside section? Well, that didn't work either. We'll get there eventually, guys. I do multiply? That's not really... How did I do this before? I think I just rasterized and then alpha lock and just colored it. And we're gonna... Oop. Going to do pen. Oh, why are you still as an object? I don't want you as an object. Convert layer. Oh, everything froze. Oh no, it just popped up a window on a separate screen. Never mind. Yes? Why do you not like me? What did I do to hurt you? Image. Oh, that didn't work. Rasterize. I am so confused, guys. Use it as a specific type of soda or never heard of it, used as an overarching term. Okay, I wonder if it's just very a niche subsection of the United States or something. I swear somebody's told me they're like, oh yeah, people have called it cola. Like, oh, who's the weirdo calling every pop soda, pop or soda cola? I'm losing my mind trying to learn wave movements of crystal. Physics should have stopped after the photoelectric effect. Oh my gosh, that is such a mood. I'm just flashing back to my physics class and circuits. Anybody who figured out, I know this is a weird reference to make, but Minecraft does a lot of the circuit stuff to do redstone, and my brain just always flashes back to being in my physics class in college and like, oh, huh? What? Oh, my brain. Turns out they've eliminated the need for that physics class for the program that I took after I finished the program. Realistically, the only thing we needed was optics, because a lot of the instrumentation we work with involves optics. Okay, can I merge with here? Okay, there we go. Not exactly what I was looking for, but it'll do. Trust the process. So why is not all of the layer coloring? I don't know why this little bit down here. Oh, that's just her antenna showing through it. Okay, never mind. Ignore me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Circuits is cool, but teaching that through Minecraft Redstone sounds stretch. I had somebody, I tried to look up a video on how to do the redstone and they just were talking about like circuits and all of that, and I'm like, oh, brain turning to mush. Please, no. It's a lot. There were like limiters and capacitors and all that, and I'm like, Redstone in Minecraft is basically just a foreign language to me. Same. There's so many people that make all these redstone gadgets in Minecraft, and I'm like, what? Huh? How did you do that? Select, because I don't have the layer visible. So I'm gonna invert. And we're going to do that yellow color. Where's my history? Color history. There we go. Yes, it is Gerudo Valley. It's Davis is the last name. I don't remember what the first name was. Taylor Davis. It was covered by Taylor Davis. Very good. Highly recommend. They got some good covers. And then, now that I got that headache out of the way, let's get my pattern brush. See if I can find my electricity. I don't remember which layer it's under. Background, there it is, lightning. So I basically want this to look like gasp, shock. How did you know that? Because like they aren't gonna realize that this is. I'm just going into comic talk. That they do not realize that the reason she's freaking out is because she's like, "How do you know my name?" Ugh. All right. Speaking of Bug Fables, got a Bug Fables song going on right now. In the Court of the Ant Queen. That's what this one's called. Alrighty. Got a little bit of a gradient to this. Just gonna get a little more dynamic. Get a gradient. We want foreground to transparent. We're still layer locked. Have you seen the note block covers people have done in songs of Minecraft? They use a lot of redstone stuff. I have not seen the note one specifically. I've seen other things. Like I remember somebody creating an actual computer in Minecraft using redstone, and I'm like, who had the time to sit here and do this? Computer within a computer. It was like a whole thing where they basically used redstone to create another Minecraft game inside of Minecraft. It's so jarring when you're looking at it and you're like, what? I'm sure if you look up like Minecraft computer in game or something like that, I'm sure you can find it. But it just blew my mind. Because I heard about that where people made a simple calculator basically in Mario Maker as well. Once again, it's like, how do these people think of these things? It's crazy. He'll have a lot more imagination than I do. Most people use the world edit or some kind of repeating system, so not everything is manual. That is true, but still, just the fact that they could even figure that out to begin with is like insane to me. I'd get like 5 seconds in and be like, nope, I'm done. Bye. And I gotta get water. Stay hydrated. It's a lot of talking. I haven't done this much talking in a hot minute. Minecraft has been played using the world's largest keyboard because, of course, that's what you do. The keyboard the size of a swim. What? What? There's a keyboard the size of a swimming pool? I kind of want to play that. I really want to know that. It's like those giant pianos that you see in like kids museums that they're like, here, jump on the piano keys and make a song. That's immediately what my brain went to, and it's like, yes. I think I saw that pop up on my feed. I need to see this now. Oh, I would pull it up and play it on stream, except I don't want to get copyright struck for it, so I trust that somebody will link us in the Discord. Alrighty. Let me get all these layers named first before I get too carried away. Act. Version outline. Background. So I need to go back into panel 1. There's the colors. This will make me have less of a headache later. Sometimes these get so many layers in here that I just am like, where was that one very, very tiny thing? What layer was it on of my 100 layers? Ensure that everything else is named. Okay. So I'm just going to do a base color here. We're going to back to the top. The top layer, I just have the panel lines. So that's why I'm able to do not so bright. Please. There we go. Okay, not quite as nice, but better, question mark? I kind of have an idea of what I want. It's always just colors. I don't know what colors to do. Or it's gonna be like, here, let me sketch this out. What I'm looking to do is like have it here and then have the Persian lines like, ooh, shock player, like that. Video giant keyboard being used in Minecraft is now in Discord. Thank you, Double. Very much appreciate it. I'm so eager to check this out, but that'll be after stream. Okay, so let's first start off. I'm just gonna keep that in here as a reference layer. Let's try and put this in here. I forgot I'm still on free transform. Actually, doesn't look too bad. Question is, do I want it above properties? Rest. Oh, this is probably going to be a difficult exercise. Well, this has a mask on it. What the heck? Sure, I don't know what that... I don't know masks. I don't get masks. Can I brush on this layer? That is so bizarre. Why does it do that? Like, as soon as I lock the layer, it's like, nope, you don't get to draw on this layer anymore. Oh, error. Oh, that's what that icon was. It was because it was black and white. It wouldn't let me draw any colors on here. Okay. Oop, accidentally bumped my mic. Hope that didn't catch. Why do people need to make giant versions of things that are designed to be used as a small size? Bro, there is like giant and tiny versions of everything. When Silk Song came out, somebody made a 4 micrometer version of drawing a hornet. Literally had to be viewed with like a like microscopic. What was it? Somebody probably. I'm gonna have to find that too. But yes, a literal 4 micrometer, not millimeter, micrometer. So it was literally like 4% of a millimeter. It is tiny. Somebody just drew Hornet with an Electron microscope, that's what I was looking for. Somebody had to use like an electron microscope to use it. It's like, why are we building this? Locking the layer lock to the state it was in. It was not letting me do it because it saw that I had a color here and the layer was selected to gray tones as opposed to full color. Kind of hard to explain. This expression color here, it was set to gray. And I think that's why it wouldn't let me do anything. I want to lock the layer so that I could cover color over top of it. Just gotta duplicate this layer. So I can just have this reference. Because I want to be able to do, again, I'm trying to figure things out as I go along. So it's going to be like a trial and error portion of the stream. Strapping gamers. The theme of Sandal Goat, bro. Yes. We all love our Undertale here. Do, 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 do. Wait, the song is called His Theme. See if I can get... Oh, this is... I keep getting mixed up because I'm like, what are these songs? I keep forgetting I have this album in here. I bought an album at a convention I went to back in November, and I put a bunch of songs in there, and then I completely forgot that I had those songs in there, and I'm like, what song is this? Way back here. Let's see if we can get... I want to see if I can just lighten them slightly down here, but not like completely erase them. And just put like sound effects like da-dun. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Did I do it? Did I do it? I hope I did. I get second place at least. Aw. Enigma, you're supposed to let the other people win. Oh, sorry. Alrighty. Let's get back to the panel frame. Oops. Nope. Panel frame. Oh, I'm gonna have to skip this song. I'm sorry. I don't think this song will let me play. I love the song, but the Sonic songs get flagged a lot, I've noticed. Sorry about that to all my Sonic stans. Instead, we're gonna get more Undertale. This is my personal favorite song from the Undertale OST. Do, 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 do. Yes, battle against the true heroes. So good. Right. Trying to think of what would be a good sound effect to put here, like da-dun. I feel like sound effects are what I struggle with the most when doing this comic. Is like, what sound effects do I put in that don't look really goofy and weird? So I always put that in later. I'm gonna actually move you here. Delete this. Delete that. Background. Do 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 do. I've seen fan art of Undyne fight that shows Undyne melting mid-combat. That is totally fair, because I don't know if you all noticed, or if you've ever looked at the Undyne artwork, or I guess not artwork, but like her sprites, as she's dying. And she is melting, which shows you that she does have some determination in her. Very minute amount, but she's like the only person that's like theoretically got determination inside of her, because instead of turning to dust right away, she melts. Which is what all the amalgamations did, what caused them to all melt into each other. So I thought that was cool. But yes, if you see the normal, like, neutral run death screen for Undyne, and she's, like, resisting death, you can see her melting a little bit. So I'm sure that's probably where that came from. I just put random Japanese effects in here. You know what's really funny? I actually have sound effects in here, but they're all Japanese, and I don't know why. Oh. Like, look at this. They're all in Japanese. It'd be weird if I had all English sound effects and then I just randomly threw in a Japanese one. I mean, I am doing this comic right to left, so I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the weirdest thing I've done. Oh, oh, don't say that. That's a swear word. Don't put that there. Giggle, giggle. Playing old Yu-Gi-Oh games. Nice. Which one you playing? I mainly played the Tag Force games. Those are my favorite. The rules of Yu-Gi-Oh have changed so much that I'm like, I don't even know if I can keep up with it. Gone. Yeah, that's kind of like the effect I was thinking of. Gone. Nightmare Troubadour. I don't know that I know that one. Is that one of the, like, really old ones? Funnily enough, I do have some of the older Game Boy ones. I just have never played them. My brother got them for me as a birthday present like 10 years ago or something. And I just never played them. I know this is gonna look obnoxious, but this is more as a reference than anything else. To just put like something like that. That's what I'm looking to do. But I just gotta figure out a way that looks good. From there. Last one, the DS for the original series. Okay. I have a couple of the DS ones. I honestly, personally, I hated them because they were very unintuitive on how to play them. Because it was like, you couldn't really build your decks very well because you had to use the, basically the packs that were in the game were the ones sold in stores, which made it a nightmare to try and build the deck you wanted. Because you just get so much random crap and none of it's really themed. And then on top of that, all the puzzles, quote unquote, were just block pushing puzzles. Literally, that was it. It was all block pushing puzzles, and I'm like, I'm so sick of block pushing puzzles. Give me something else. The story was also a little thing, but that was more just a personal pet peeve. Maybe it don't bother some people. It just kind of felt like it was the main story, but they just like tacked an extra person onto it. Is weird. Not my thing. But it's cool if it's your thing. I'm going up to panel 1 because I'm I'm tired of trying to figure out this. If I want block pushing puzzles, I'll go to the Seafoam Islands. Why does that sound familiar? What are the Seafoam Islands? Somebody remind me of that. Why does that sound so familiar? Oh, I didn't put the multiply on. Articuno resting place. Oh yeah, that's it. That's why I was like, I know that name. Why do I know that name? Yeah. Going old school Pokemon there. Also Udanya, let's go. Synchroposa's Divine Beast theme is my favorite, followed by Rivali. Because y'all know me, I love my bird boy. Bird boy. I will be a Rivali stan to the end of my days. Fight me! Oh, Cobb, what is happening? Why are your hands going out of the panel? We're gonna have to fix that. Fix the up 2 while we're at it. Oop, that's not what I wanted. We're going to expand selected area, but well, not by 50. We're gonna go by like 2. Well, that's not what I wanted. It's the opposite direction. I want to shrink selected area. Why did you pop up on the other? There we go. Alright, it doesn't leave us that weird white gap. At least the reward is something I have at some level of fondness for, indeed. It's not just gatekeeping you from the rest of the game. Boo-doo-doo. Okay. Carl Chambers come up before stream ends. That is my favorite song in this playlist. This is Ganon's Tower. I don't want to listen to Ganon's Tower. Ooh, final trial. Let's do this. Let's go. Articuno's pretty. Articuno is very pretty. Oh, this is something else that we were talking about at work. I always found it weird. It seems like they've retconned it later, but this is just something I noticed in the early Pokemon days, that they would always have like a movie for one of the legendaries, but not like the others. So like they had a movie for Lugia, but then they didn't have Ho-Oh for some reason. And then they had movies for Entei and Suicune, but not Raikou. And I was so confused. I was like, why are we only doing part of the legendaries and not all of the legendaries? And my kid reason liking Articuno is such good was because of blue. Yes, I get that. I totally get that. Honestly, when I played Pokemon Go for the first time, I'm pretty sure that's the main reason I chose my team, was because blue. But they hadn't released like anything of like the leaders or anything like that. This was like very, very first beginning of Pokemon Go. Like when they had only the first generation of Pokemon in Pokemon Go. I was in college when they happened. So, of course, walking around campus got me a lot of Pokemon steps, got my eggs hatching, caught other Pokemon around. It was fun. I was also in my medtech classes, and there was a Pokestop right outside of the classroom that you could just refresh midway through class. Heard that Lugia was made specifically for the power of one and wasn't initially made for the games. Really? I actually didn't know that. I just assumed. Well, I knew that because Ooh, Osamu was choosing a raid. Let me get a piece of paper. I don't have a piece of paper here. Hang on, I'm gonna step away for a second. I gotta go find a piece of paper so I can write this down. Hang on. Mac with sticky note in hand. All right, Osamu, who are we gonna raid at the end of stream? Drop that name in there. I will toss this sticky note up so that I don't forget. Jawbreaker Cherry. All right. Make sure I spell this right. Cherry. Slap that on my computer. Right there. I've learned it's easier to remember things when I put very obvious sticky notes in places and forget. I don't know if that's how you guys do it, but that's how I do it. I have to put stuff right in front of me because I'm like, otherwise I'm gonna forget. I do that at work a lot when I like have to replace containers and stuff. I'll leave the empty cardboard box in front of my station, so I'm like, so I don't forget to replace this. Doing an art challenge, so it's fitting. Art. Nice, nice, nice. Awesome. Sitting. I need to stretch. Hang on. Been sitting all day and now I'm like getting restless. I had a very busy day at work today, and it's like, of course, today of all days, it would be my busy day. This is just, there's just so much there. Doesn't help that I also had the LPX, or you guys won't know what that means. I had a survey. So basically, in the laboratory, we get what are called CAP surveys, and it's basically a way to make sure that we are putting out proper results, like we're actually getting the right thing. All the labs are standardized, getting the right stuff. And lucky me, I got the bioterrorism one, so I felt bad all day today. So, for those of you who don't know, agents of bioterrorism are highly infectious diseases. Things like the bubonic plague and anthrax and stuff like that. The really, really bad stuff. Of course, they don't give you like a real thing, but it's basically something that reacts the same way. And I'm the one who got the Francisella tularensis, or tularemia. So yeah, having to like take all of my supplies into our BSL2 room. My bits of mass destruction, not quite. So yeah. So it's like trying to drag everything into that room because you can't process any of those specimens out in the open air. They gotta be under the hoods in the BSL3 or BSL2 cabinet. And yeah. We did not rule out tularensis, by the way, so lucky me. I get to deal with it again tomorrow as well. There was that. I had an ESBL. I had a Campylobacter, which is the stuff that the bacteria that causes stomach ulcers. Like I said, the ESBL, the extended beta lactamase, extended spectrum beta lactamase, and then I had like 20 blood cultures that were positive on top of that. I had to do strep grouping, and I had a gram positive with a possible listeria in it, and I'm like, why me? Why? Why does all of this have to come all at once? Biological weapons is high mortality rate diseases. Yeah, well, not necessarily. It's just extremely infectious because, technically speaking, Brucella is also an agent of bioterrorism, and Brucella does not have any actual deaths to it, but is highly contagious. And it does make you very sick, but there have not been any reported cases of people dying from Brucella. It's just a really nasty bug. So, yeah, it's a lot. Anyway, that's your science lesson for today. Y'all got to learn what an agent of bioterrorism is. Aren't you? Aren't you glad you came to stream? But yeah, the bubonic plague that I'm sure all y'all know from history class, that is one agent of bioterrorism. It's a scientific name called Yersinia pestis. And the reason it's called the bubonic plague is because when you get infected with it, your lymph nodes swell up in a very obvious bump, and those bumps are called buboes. So that's why it's called the bubonic plague. And tularemia, because it's named Francisella tularensis. Brucellosis, Brucella. Anthrax is because it's Bacillus anthracis. You know, most of these are just based off of their names. I mean, it was caused by rats. Indeed it was. Fun times. Like I said, I'm pretty sure everybody knows about, well, it's the plague, the black plague, the bubonic plague. It has multiple different names, but scientific name is called Yersinia pestis. It was caused by fleas in the extremely unsanitary conditions of the time. Exactly. I guess that is the technical case, because it was on the fleas that the rats were carrying. And because there were no sanitation, people were literally just dumping their deuces out in the streets of Europe at the time. They didn't really have a plumbing system. I don't know, plumbing, sanitation, all that. Yeah, people were literally just like throwing their fecal matter into the streets. So, needless to say, yeah, that's why Europe got wiped out. Like, I think it was 2/3 of the population of Europe got wiped out by this plague. It's crazy. Hey, if you ever want to learn about it too, you can also go to the CDC website to learn about it. So wondering why the toilet was made by a guy named John. Wait, is that why we can John? Is that real? Is that actually what the history is? I don't know. Last name Crapper. If that is actually true, I love that. I don't know if it's real, but I want it to be real. I'm gonna will this into existence. But yes, there's all sorts of fun pathogens that I can teach y'all about. Welcome to Infectious Disease Pathology 101. As we listen to video game music. Do 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 do. Sir John Harrington. Oh, that's great. At least part of that was right. Not the last name Crapper, but the John part. I love that. Unknown Rancher opponent song, either one. Yes. 1775. Yeah. It's hard to believe that toilets were made that recently. It seems like toilets should be a lot older than that, but... Rice! Yay! I actually just got a mold recently to make onigiri. I haven't had a chance to use it yet, but I hope to have a chance soon. I just lacked a lot of energy to do a lot of cooking lately, so... It's when I bust out my I like to call them my like depression kit. I just have a lot of like ready to go meals for when the depression hits hard and I'm like, I have no energy to get up and do anything, so that I can still actually, you know, be fed and not starve myself because I have low energy. So, word of advice if y'all struggle with that too, get a lot of microwave meals and just keep them there for emergencies. This is another song that's gonna make me fall asleep. It's technically not like a nighttime themed one, but this just the mellowness of this just always makes me think sleepy times. This is the Crystal Peak from Hollow Knight. Very ethereal sound. Ethereal sound. Okay, let's get all this excess cut out of here. I was gonna get an extra layer of highlights, so swap here. Kabu got that shiny shell. Whoops. Overlay. Oh. Add. Yeah, we're gonna add. Rice is so good. Still looking at that rice comment, sorry. It's been a hot minute since I've had like fried rice. That's something I should get. I don't think I can put it shine on much else of his. I don't want him to be too shiny. I don't want him to look like he's like glistening. But enough that you know that this is like a hard shell reflective, because I don't know if y'all knew this actually, but Kabu is a rainbow scarab beetle. Which are actually very iridescent. I'd pull one up on stream, but I don't know if anyone has insectophobia, so I won't do that. You can go look it up if you want, but that is technically what Kabu is. He's a rainbow scarab beetle. Just realized I never colored that in. Yeah, Kabu and V actually have species, but Leaf does not. Leaf is just moth. But shocker of all shocks, V is a honeybee. I know it's gonna be like mind-breaking, some of you. Most of the characters are actually based off of different species, bug species. Leaf is kind of like the one weird exception to that rule. Green. I also gotta admire the puns that they do in this game too. Like Arya is being an acolyte for a goddess because she's a praying mantis. Puns. I sound so enthused, don't I? Now y'all see why I'm going about layering all these, why I'm naming all these layers, because there's so many of them. Leaf, it's your turn. You're the next one in the row. I always get worried. This orange color looks really bad on Leaf, and so I'm always like, oh, please don't look weird. If you didn't know, blue and orange They're complementary colors of the color wheel, so they don't exactly want to merge very well. Pen. More soothing Animal Crossing music. It's a little too low energy for me. I need something else to hype me up. I love you, Animal Crossing, but there we go. This seems fitting. We're gonna play Leaf's theme while we're coloring Leaf. The song's called The One Left Behind, which is technically Leaf's theme. It's not technically, it's literally in the parentheses. Y'all know what I mean. It's Moth Boy time. Which also, fun fact, apparently Kabu and Kabu and V were supposed to get their own themes too, but just because of time constraints, I think partly budget too, they couldn't end up doing that, so they had to cut them out. Plus they were like, oh, I don't really see very many times that these themes would be used, so... I've seen some people do like fan versions of their themes, which is always fun. But yeah, in case you were wondering why Leaf has a theme but not V or Kabu, that's why. You learn so much from the art books and whatnot. I love collecting art books. Does anyone else like collecting art books? I do. A lot of times when I see indie games, I like getting the art book because you can always see concept stuff and things that got cut from the game, and it's like, oh, this is so cool just to see inside the minds of the devs, to know like what was going through their mind, what they wanted to put in, why they didn't put it in. I really want one for Hat in Time, but they don't have one, so I just kind of have to go for the wiki for all of the like cut content that I can find. Because like originally Mustache Girl wasn't going to be the final boss of the game. It was going to be the CEO of Time. Franchi. There was also another human boy character. I completely forgotten what his name was, but he was also a cut thing. Also, another fun fact, I'll just keep throwing fun facts out here. Why not? Originally in the game, Leaf was supposed to attack by dancing, but that ended up getting cut. He was also originally going to be purple, and then he was going to be red, and then he became blue. Oh, that's not good. Keep forgetting, I'm like, we need to keep the shading to one character, just to keep things easy and simple. Ooh. Boo-doo-doo-doo. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. I need to fix the audio at some point. I'm sure it's still doing it. I think I'm like a couple milliseconds behind, so whenever I sing with the music, it's not quite in sync with it. So I apologize if I'm like slightly off on the timing. I'll adjust it so that way I can sing along with it and it doesn't sound weird on the record. Also, I need to rub my eyes. They are getting dry. I know I'm not supposed to rub my eyes, but shh. Don't tell anyone. Alright. So we've got that. Let's do our gradient one with the color burn at 30. So usually the color burn looks a lot worse on Leaf, but I'm kind of surprised it did not turn out as bad. Now we're gonna do highlights. We want screen. Hey, Bremen March. Leaf. Here we go. Start naming these layers. I like this keyboard ASMR. I love my keyboard. I actually had a mouse that matched with this, but it kind of crapped out like the last couple days, so I have a backup one in here. Makes me sad because it's got rainbow backlighting and I like it. So to not have backlit mouse makes me very sad. Oh, Urbosa, my queen. My queen who slays. Alrighty. V, your turn. Gonna do multiply. She should be pretty quick because she's pretty short and only has her head there. It's always been the one tricky thing is trying to keep their heights consistent. I have a hand-drawn height chart for all of these guys in my style, but I don't actually have a digital one that can show off. But in case anyone's wondering how I do their heights, I basically use Kabu as the reference because he's kind of the middleman that V goes up to Kabu's shoulders and then the top of Kabu's head goes to Leaf's shoulders. So that's kind of where that idea went from. So let me see if you can really see the sketch layer. You see all these lines because I have this line because I was trying to get where Kabu's shoulder was because that's where the top of V's head should be. And then again, I have Leaf's shoulders right here. And I have Kabu's top of his head there. And then Chell is just like a hair shorter than Leaf. And Monarch is just a hair taller than Leaf. Right now, the tallest character that's appeared in the comic is Arya. Which I think I have one of the past pages to show that she's a bit taller than Leaf. Apparently, Leaf is supposed to be really short in the games, too. In case anyone wanted to know. Well, here's a good where you can see the two of them. But yeah, technically speaking, of all the characters that have popped up in the comic, Arya is the tallest. And V is the shortest until Levi comes in, and then Levi will be the shortest. Oh, Jake Jab. Oh, hopefully it took your first answer and not your third. I actually don't know if you can change the answers once you put it in. That was a really old stream that we did that. Old streams. Alrighty. Where was I at? I was drawing V. That's what I was doing. V the bee. I also cringe a little bit whenever somebody calls her Vi. I know Weiss has pointed this out before, but her full name is technically Violet, even though it's spelled Violet. And trust me, there is an actual Q&A question in the instruction manual that asks, how do you pronounce V's name? It's like, that's weird, okay. Was that the most frequently asked question? How do you pronounce V's name? That her sister is the only one that calls her Vi, but the rest of Everybody else calls her V. But yes, the names are French, in case you were wondering. Because it's supposed to be a play because Jean is yellow, and yellow and violet are complementary colors on the color wheel. Which is the joke behind their names. In case anyone was wondering. There's a lot of punny names in this game. Alright, next layer. Color burn. Also, all these characters, I think I remember to see, why is in violet? I mean, it does suit her, but yeah, if you actually look at the instruction manual, it tells you it's like V. I wonder if I can actually pull up the instruction manual cue. Actually, I have it because we have the box art. Hang on, I gotta go get that. Hang on, I'm gonna go get that. Hold on. Oh, where am I? Just realized I was muted. Did anyone hear that? I muted myself. I'm gonna repeat that. But yeah, this is literally Q&A. First question, I forgot where to go. Help. Second question, there's so many quests, I don't know where to start. Third question, how do I make more money? Fourth question, how do you pronounce V's name? And the answer to that one is just like B. But V's sister says it like bye, though. Sorry, I accidentally bumped the mic and hit the mute button when I was reading that. But yes, I have the actual instruction manual here. I forgot I had that. So funny that that's actually in here as one of the... This is adorable. I love this. I love this game. Have I made that clear enough yet? I'm gonna go put this away, but I'm not gonna mute the mic this time because apparently I can't bump it and keep it unmuted. Hang on. Okay, this is really random, but I also didn't even notice this until I was putting the instructional booklet away. On the back of the booklet, there's Team Snakemouth sitting at a kotatsu, and I'm so jealous. I want a kotatsu. Kabu's like sleeping under it, and then V is eating, and Leaf is drinking tea, and I'm like, I'm so jealous. For those of you who don't know what a kotatsu is, it's a little table that has a blanket underneath of it, but underneath the table, there's actually a space heater. So you basically drape you put your legs underneath of the table, there's a little heated space, and then the blanket keeps the heat in, so you just get your legs all nice and toasty while the top part of your body just stays outside of it. It sounds so beautiful. But I don't have a kotatsu. That's the one furniture piece that I'm like, I definitely want one. If I ever see one, I am getting one. I want the kotatsu. There's so many things that are So many Japanese things that I want. Like, I also love their deep tubs. So I could just have a hot tub bath and just be nice and toasty. Alright. Probably in like 10-15 minutes or so I will. Yeah, they are heated. They're so nice. Yeah, they're little mini heat space heaters. That's why people love them so much. Because you get nice toasty feet. I do have a heated blanket, but I don't have like space heater kind of thing. Where was I at? Oh, I remember now. Getting too distracted. Hang on. Now we are going to overlay. Actually, no, not overlay. We want screen. I'm going to do one more with an overlay to add some shine to her eyes. I don't think I have any shine anywhere else other than her eyes normally. Also, that looks weird as overlay. Can I add a glow? It looks a little too bright. Sure. Maybe I'll edit that later. I was at a desk. Thanks, Valley. Appreciate it. Can always count on you to get me back in my place. So we got all right. Our question is, do I really want to try and color this background beforehand? Goodness gracious, I just heard a really loud noise outside of my window. What was that? Hopefully that was nothing. I'm sure the mic didn't pick that up, but it was very loud on my end. Raccoon trying to find its way. If I have a raccoon on a multi-story apartment complex, I'm gonna be very concerned. I have had squirrels come up here and I'm like, how did you even get up here? I have bird feeders on my balcony and I'm like, it's high enough, squirrels won't get in. And then I get a squirrel and I'm like, get out of here. Oh, I'm very winded. It says Ocarina of Time, but oh, I'm skipping that. Dragon Roost! Yeah, this might be a good place to stop this, to be honest. It's quite a bit. Yeah, the background is just kind of tedious. That's why I really don't want to like start this and then stop it midway through. Because again, perspective and all that jazz. There will be word bubbles, but I always like adding the word bubbles in last. Yeah, how about we wrap things up here? I know it's a little bit earlier, but this is also our first stream back, so it'd be a nice little warm-up, I guess. But yes, thank you so much, everyone who joined. Don't forget, we do have a raid that we are going to be doing for Jawbreaker Cherry. See if I can get her up on my Twitch first before. Whoop, oh, where'd my mouse go? There's my mouse. Get stream up here first. But yes, don't forget, we also have stream on Wednesday. Wednesday, we are going to be finally finishing Oracle of Seasons. So I hope y'all are looking forward to that. And then next Monday, we will be doing One Shot, which again, I know nothing about. I have no idea if it's going to be a one-off stream, if it's going to be multiple streams. I literally know nothing. So, where's Flowey's theme? No, Flowey, I don't want to end on this horrible note. There we go. Alright, Jawbreaker Cherry. Twitch.tv/Jawbreaker Cherry. There we go. All right, I'm gonna start setting up that. We're going to let's get this raid going. Again, thank you everybody who joined, and I hope to see y'all at the next stream. So, matane!